mapping video, we will look into a scenario in which NATO and Asia go to war. Yeah, NATO versus Asia, as if this will go well. Also, just note, Turkey is a part of NATO, so it won't be included on Asia's team. And also, I won't be including the Sinai Peninsula. I will be including all of Russia, just because. And Indonesia down there, and the Arabia. Turkey is in a bad location. Iran, Saudi Arabia, Russia, yeah, as if they'll do well. And yeah. And now I shall highlight all the nations the right color automatically look like. And Navy-wise, well, the red team controls this. A blue team could just go that way. It would send its Navy. I think I'll do naval dominance, actually, and I'm going to include Sweden and Finland, although they're not a part of NATO. They will be included, and Ukraine's war will be another front line, because that's been going on. And this will be all of their militaries, everything included, of everyone's military, which does lead to a good setup. So one sec. Breakout is naval, especially along here. We see some fighting break out in the Black Sea, especially with Russia deciding to do some stuff that they're actually succeeding in. And yeah, Cyprus, sorry about that, but your coast is kind of not yours. And yeah, Russia does manage to do some things here. That's just to defend themselves. But you see what's going to happen. It's likely, I would say, a big chance. This is more white than red, and yet I'm still using it. I like it. And yeah, I said it's all of Russia's military. Millions of incompetent troops, yet exactly. And a lot of fighting and a lot of resources will likely be sent here, but a lot of naval assets being here because of holding America off for now. With most of their militaries all sent to Europe, headed to Europe. Iran starts an advance. Syria does too. Yeah, we have Georgia invading Turkey and Armenia and Azerbaijan. Israel, Iran, Azerbaijan, Armenia. Tell me how that team actually works. Russia. How about China and India and Pakistan? Tell me how that makes sense. And yeah, a big chunk of the Turkish military is encircled. And why didn't I start with the Syrian civil war? Because if I went through civil wars, that'd take hours to set up. Well, Ukraine holds them off. Finland does what they did in the Winter's War. And they hold them basically to here. And yeah, they basically do this. But where they do manage to cross the border, we're not going to do what I normally do and give Finland all of that. Because usually those are empire videos, and it's easy for them to get all of that because it's a big war, yeah. And it's an empire, and they're usually on the side that has to win. And Russia manages to cut the Baltics off. But it's not that great, because they can easily be in trouble. But this does allow some problems with naval vehicles, as these naval vehicles just starts getting along the coast. And yeah, why so much along the coast? Because that's the easiest way to do it. And then we have Russia, who is now able to push into Poland. And chances are Belarus would let them cross. But I'm saying Asia versus NATO. And why did I add Finland and Sweden? Technically not in NATO. Yet, they will become, it looks like. And with Ukraine, similar with Ukraine, not part of NATO, but I thought leaving this war, if Russia had all of their forces, would be pretty interesting. And yeah. Ukraine would be outnumbered badly. How did Russia cross the river? With this happening, with more Asian forces managing to get over, Japanese forces somehow get here, and North and South Korean. With Iranians headed for Istanbul, with one front actually going for NATO is here. And the northern front in Ukraine wasn't really set up well, so it gets shoved back. And some fronts here, as they're pushed back across the Dnieper. But now there's strategic holdout, and with NATO trying to push north. With them actually succeeding. But, as it turns out, this was a bad idea, and they almost fully get encircled as they start running out of here. Back to Poland's border, with Russia starting more advanced, but Russia's kind of stuck in a stalemate, troops getting exhausted, but the here, even a small encirclement with a small amount of forces. But although having slight success, they start having success here. With the Russians managing to take out a few naval invasions. And their invasion actually goes smoother than what you would think. And yeah, that happens. Let's see the war. Some more forces are sent. Which might have not been great, because they're starting to arrive. With the vessels here starting to do better. Which, they already taken Ankara, but let's say Ankara's here, and this is how it fell. Yeah, they take Istanbul, as we just saw, and they start pushing into Bulgaria and Romania, with the Navy being hard to enforce and likely to get into a bad shape. They withdraw the Navy out. But then they take advantage of this and do this, which basically pushes them out of Asia almost entirely. But Turkey wasn't in a great location in the start of this video. And yeah, this happens. Sad. With some Chinese forces headed here. And Iranian drones continue to be used here, although Iran does deny. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it's Iranian drones, we don't know. But it is Iranian drones. And yeah, this happens. With Ukraine being basically overrun because there's more nations slamming in. And I guess it looks like it's definitely no Western, with Turkey basically being in a bad shape, collapsing on the spot. With a lira being completely devalued, and Greece is now in trouble because of this. And they push up to Serbia's border, making it hard to get by. And they even take out Greece and Albania. A few nations have been taken out, with America seeing that their best opportunity might be to somehow get forces there. Let's say their forces go down, like their Navy vessels go down there, and hopefully it doesn't end up being like the Russo-Japanese War, where Russia sent their navies across, and they basically come here. And then America realizes, oh yeah, there's oil here. Forgot about it. And well, Qatar is just standing. And then this happens. With America basically using, and let's say they got up there. Yeah, I don't have that straight. And well, let's say fighting breaks out in Yemen. Yeah. To the Yemen front, guys. These videos are probably a bit long. But you know what's really long? 50-minute videos. And I'm at 80 subs, so we just need 20 more. And yeah, the Yemen front kinda does not go so well. With them even crossing into Saudi Arabia. With, I guess this is the worst tension can get. Direct conflict is what I think. You may have a different opinion, but I think direct conflict is where tensions are already far. And yes, the resource-rich area, but the population America occupies population, and a bit of the resources Saudi Arabia occupies little. And with this saw Saudi Arabia move some forces out of the other fronts. But they didn't have many, really, up here. But with Southeast Asia getting some forces there, even including Indonesia. And let's say the fighting continues in Europe, advancing further. And yeah, eventually Sofia falls, and then followed by Bucharest's fall. And well, Romania is basically pushed back. And yeah, Lviv is encircled. Lviv, it falls. And then they push into Ruthenia. And after taking over Ukraine, they start pushing into Hungary, which encircles a lot of Romanian forces in the Transylvania region, with this happening. With looking like Italy will be breaking out and fighting, and yeah. They use their navies to try and deter, but it doesn't work so well. And this happens to their navy after naval attacks start happening. And yeah, this happens up here. And yeah, now it's kind of like where Europe starts having a bad time. But America sees this as they take over Slovakia and Hungary, they take Bratislava, and then they push into Czechia. And then they start pushing down. Poland is forced into a retreat. And so is Czechia, but this is where a stalemate is created. But they use this to do this and even take Berlin. But Germany and Poland do not give up. Nobody gives up. And America tells everybody to keep fighting. We have a plan. Which actually goes to success. Yep, much more of a success. With them actually doing this, because there's not much navy there. And yeah, naval dominance does not mean they're the only ones there. No. And let's say they do another attack like that, going like this and that. Eventually they take it over and do that. Or we could do a 41 and they do this as they head towards the Philippines. With them actually making it to there. And well, the American Navy has found a weak spot, which they use to fight off them, with naval fighting continuing. With China sending some forces out further. And yeah, America is not doing so well there. But they managed to continue their naval dominance and take where they made a landing without naval dominance, and they do this. They head north of Indonesia. And well, their fighting picks up here. Which, this is where fighting in Asia dies, but in Arabia and the Red Sea, it continues expanding. I'm actually taking out the Red Sea and pushing up here. And they come over here, and then they do something crazy. Take over that. They take over this area. And then they continue with the blue team basically seeing. With this just being American forces. That's why it's not getting so far. They wanted to invade Iraq for the 4th time as they expand with some naval landings in Saudi Arabia. One up north, this is where Riyadh is, one just south of Mecca. And yeah, they expand with this happening. And how did they make a naval landing there? Don't ask me. With America managing to do this. I think this is about Mecca, and they take Mecca. Actually, I think Mecca might have been way more north. And yeah, Saudi Arabia and Oman get into trouble. With Oman being shocked. With America and Iran finally having direct conflict. With their plan to take out the oil. This is strategically important. Oil is. They know Russia has a lot of oil, but that's kind of hard to take out. And well, they basically even take the natural gas Qatar has, and Qatar is not pretty happy. While America starts an invasion of Iraq 2.0. And Iran is part of it. And they land in Qatar and take over Qatar. Push into Saudi Arabia. Then they push into the UAE, and then they push into here, with Oman being pretty much in trouble. With this happening, yeah, the Middle East is not in a good shape. With Saudi Arabia and Iran and most of the Middle Eastern nations actually moving all of their forces out. And a lot of oil is falling because there is a lot of oil in this area. Some countries, I'm shocked of where their oil is. Like, Iran doesn't really have that much. It's just in an area. Oil. Everything is in small areas. With them pushing in towards Riyadh. Yeah. They move north of Riyadh, they encircle Riyadh, and take it. With fighting continuing in Saudi Arabia. And yeah. News starts coming. With, yeah, we're just fighting in the Middle East, moves to the north, so you can see more. With Saudi Arabia collapsing, American forces quickly occupying and moving into Jordania. With this being a major blow, with a lot of the naval assets needing to be moved back towards a more defendable area. Them are moving their troops out in the Middle East now. And their navies. Yeah, Israel's navy got wiped out. Well, their plan is, since troops are retreating to get around, they land here in Turkey. And when now German forces take a push into Poland. And Italy takes a push, but this is with all of Europe. It looks like, I don't think anyone will win, but I think there will be a winner, but not a winner. And this happens. Along with them taking over Greece. Is there really a winner in war? Well, no. But is there a winner in war? No. Why is there no winners in war? Because can you really win if there's nothing left? Like, think of it. Your economy, dead. Did you win? No, your economy is dead. And well, with Middle Eastern troops having to retreat, this kind of screws up a lot of the fronts. Especially Bulgaria's front. And Turkey's front. With them now only able to occupy what Russia and a few nations can occupy, including Assad in Syria. And yeah. And with them actually managing to do this. And they start taking out Asian nations one by one. India and China have managed to make, Pakistan have managed to make it so it's impossible to invade. Vietnam, they're scared to invade because of some flashbacks in the past. And yeah, Now, Iran being decimated, with Iran moving all troops out of Turkey. Ooh, did they actually do that? Russia's not happy with this. This is what ends up happening. And they do this. And yeah. Iran's people overthrow Iran and get out of the war. With everybody upset at this, America does some very aggressive moves. No. No, I'm kidding, guys. My layer's on top that I'm using. And that happens. No, there's not going to be nukes. But nukes would be something. Let's say they get all the way to Taiwan. Well, if they manage to, they win the Taiwan battle because Taiwan allows it to happen. Because, well, they're pretty much part of China's puppet in what's going on. So why wouldn't you want this to do that? As you're fighting the West, that's kind of hard. Well, Asia and North America are starting to get... Asia and Europe is starting to get exhausted, but feeling they can get more, Europe continues their wave against Russia, even managing to get into Ukraine. But, as we have seen, some of the most vocal partisans are in two areas. In here, in Kherson, they rise up. In Zaporizhia, they rise up in this area. And this kind of happens. With Melitopol and Kherson City doing this. Almost pushing them out, but they can't really. Because this is where all the Russians live. And they do this. With some Kiev ones rising up. Cherniv has rebels. Kharkiv. Slavodonetsk. And Lviv. Dnipro. Yeah, Russia, I think he just kind of are getting kicked out now. And this is just the people fighting. With some places that are still occupied saying, huh? They can do that? We can too, says the Baltics. Yeah. I think they got the message. The Poles see it. The Turks see it. And yeah. As Asia falls apart from within. The first one they managed to kick out is nonetheless but the Russians, the paper tiger of the room. With Finland managing to cut this off, which allows them to take all of here. Yeah. And let's say Russia's navy gets sunk. Ooh. With naval dominance being completely lost in the north. With all of Russia's navy destroyed, decimated. Which eventually allows troubles here. Yeah, this video is getting a bit too long, I think. It's getting a bit long. And yeah, this kind of happens. That St. Petersburg falls. And yeah, why do I have lakes colored in with naval dominance? That's a mistake. I just realized. Like, the Caspian Sea is just a lake. Aral Sea is a lake. That's a lake. This is a lake. With a huge defensible thing being set up, guys. No. Right here is where they... Well, Afghanistan, they consider a part of it. China has made it go as far north as they can. Edit, undo. Let's say it goes like this. Yes, they want all of Siberia. Yeah, it continues all of Siberia around here. Down here. But what they can save includes Vietnam, India. This area is completely defended. And yeah. Well, yeah, and this happens. And this kind of happens. With some nations deciding while they're ahead to leave. Well, Siberia leaves, saying that they're independent now. Japan leaves. Vietnam leaves. India leaves, which inspires these nations to leave, which are, in fact, some of the most defended areas. And then this occupation of the ocean goes from completely theirs to completely America's in seconds. And then, well, as we can see is going to happen, is all of these that didn't leave die. Yeah. And no, most of these nations aren't going to see any repercussions. No, it's just here. And so the treaty is signed. Treaty with the Ottoman Empire being recreated, and the Arabian Union, Ukraine is made into an empire, Finland gets to become an empire, along with their bros. Like Poland gets a bit of land. And now we can try. So Poland got that, Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, and then Asia, except those nations like China and them who were not occupied, are all democracies. Russia's made into a democracy. Iran, Saudi Arabia, all of these guys that were occupied, except Vietnam, India, and them. Yeah, because India can't be democracy-ified. Because it was already a democracy. And why should you subscribe? Like, what are we trying to get to? You may be wondering. 100. Something 100. 100. What was planned, what actually then officially went through. Somebody nuked everyone, basically. Yeah. America, did you do it? To which... And yeah. Yeah. This is what will happen if we don't hit 100 subscribers. Just saying. Do you really want to see what would happen if this happened? Oh yeah, this is celebrating if I got to 100. This is how many celebrations would happen at 100. Yeah, definitely not the world ending. And yeah, well actually this would happen if we don't get to 100 because we're almost to 100 actually. But guess what? I forgot to tell you, these weren't actually nukes but confetti. Isn't that interesting? And the confetti storm. this was all of its impacts, and now it's getting cleaned up. Except in the ocean, because everybody's like, yeah, it's definitely not there. Wherever it hit land, they did it, they cleaned up. Canada just was like, yeah, we will do it. But they forgot about Elmir's Island, Canada. And then, well, something bad happens. They forgot about the stuff they dumped into the ocean excitingly. And that happens. No, I'm kidding, guys. None of this actually happened. But this was an outcome I was thinking, maybe I should just nuke everywhere in the video. But I decided no, because that would take away the fun of the video. You should really subscribe. We're almost to 100. We're at 80. That's only 20 away. And yeah, we've been rising quickly. I think we can get to 100 by Christmas. But we need to speed up on getting subscribers. Just saying, we need 20 more. It's not like it's 5th where we would be easily able. We need to work harder than we would have had to. Like, if I get a few days with 2 and all the days with 1, well, I will get there. But the latest, I hope we get there at Christmas, but if we don't, we'll get there by next year. Before next year. And yeah, this is only half of this year, considering I only started in June. Yeah. June is halfway in the year. Wait, the channel is only 6 months old? Oh my god. We're actually doing good. Because it goes June, March, no, June, July, August, September, October, June, July, August, September, November, October, November, December. Okay, maybe actually 7 months. Sorry about the miscalculation. And look, 100. And you know what? If anybody who knows me is watching that, yeah. This is what I believe strongly. Yeah, I deserve 100% on everything. 100%. Why did I just draw an upside down percent sign? Or as division says, I think it should be 5/2. Yeah, rise 5/2. Yeah, and yeah, this is what happens to the world with math symbols, yeah. And yeah, should I make another animated video? I'm thinking when I get to 100 subscribers, I'll make a dictator, no peace special. Pick a country. Comment a country, like. And yeah, we're going to follow a certain rule set when we play that I'll describe. And yeah. The world has become red and green. Wait, you know what? It's almost Christmas. And why is the world red and green? And yeah. Yeah, this makes sense, the colors I'm using. And yeah, I still don't have a thumbnail figured out. I'm going to have one. And it'll be pretty cool. And yeah. Thanks for viewing. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Wild Mapper is out. Not yet! One sec before I get out. Yeah, you need to subscribe. We're almost to 100, so please like and subscribe. And comment something, your favorite emoji. And I will respond. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper!